This video is going to be about Proteh's Assetsinfo. It's a relatively new function of the mod injector which allows you to transfer assets and resources from one map to another map. For instance, he uses this technique in his DLC AI for all maps mod. You can download that mod and it's a zip file, and so you can put it in your mod folder and inject it, and with that you'll be able to take code from a DLC level, like for example the id AI2 code of a stone imp, and then paste it in a level in the base campaign, put it in an entities file of one of those levels, and then add in a stone imp in an encounter, and it should work. That's what his DLC AI mod does. What I'm talking about here is a bit more specific, because I have found there have been some occasions when I've been making level mods that I want to use assets from another level in the base campaign, and they haven't worked. And so I needed to use the same kind of technique that Proteh uses in order to get those assets. Let me show you an example then. I'm just going to load Doom Eternal now. I'm going to load the Ark complex of my mod, the Second Invasion. In my Second Invasion mod for the Ark complex, and well, throughout it, I have Meathook nodes, but the icon I use for the Meathook node is a yellow orb. It's not the same as the one that's in tag 2 that they use in the World Spear. Instead, it's a yellow orb, like the yellow orb you get around the rad suit refill icon. I'm playing my Ark complex level now, but this is without any assets mods. This is without any assets being transferred, and as you can see, my Meathook is there, but the icon isn't. The icon isn't present, and well, the reason why that is that the Ark complex hasn't got any toxic liquid, and so there's no rad suit refill effect in the Ark complex. So I tried putting that in, and it doesn't show up because it's not in the level. So you can see that my Meathook nodes are functional, but you just can't see them. They're invisible. And of course that's very annoying. So what do? Well, I want to transfer assets from another map which has the icon that I want, has this rad suit refill effect, and put it into this level. Now I know Super Gore Nest has a rad suit and a rad suit refill, so if I got assets from that and put them in this level, then it ought to work. And that's what I'm going to show you in this video. What I'm saying then is that if there is something else, if there's some other effect or a type of barrier in one level but not in another, but you want to use them in multiple levels or something, then you'll probably need to know how to do this. Using Proteh's DLC AI for all levels is not going to help with that. If you just want to put in DLC demons in the base campaign, then sure, use his mod and that would be fine. But this is for a more specific situation which you may never find yourself in, but I certainly have, and well, I wish there had been a video to help me with that at the time. But I had to figure it out myself, and whatever, fine, I figured it out. It is cool. So this is what I'm talking about. If you go into the Discord, Doom 2016 modding Discord, Eternal Resources, around the 5th, 29th of May 2021, Proteh made a post, Eternal Mod Assets Info Guide, and it's a big old post with lots of code, and well, he is really good at explaining things, but it is complicated and hard, and I gave up the first time I tried to figure it out, but I tried again later, and it all worked out fine. And well, this video is basically going to be a translation of his explanation here. Not exactly a translation, but translating his text into a video is what it's going to be. Like I mentioned before, if you want to put DLC AI into a map that doesn't have it, like the base campaign, then what you really want is Proteh's DLC AI for all maps, which you can find here, Eternal Resources, August the 4th, 2021, and there it is. The technique I'm going to show you right now, I don't think it really works for this purpose. You need to do something a little bit extra to get AI from one map to another. So, an important bit of information here for you to use the assets is this spreadsheet here, right under, but how do I do this? So let's have a look at this spreadsheet. Yep, that's what the spreadsheet looks like. You know, in this video, I'm just going to show you how to do it. How to do it and get it to work. I'm not going to bother explaining anything. If you want to understand why it works or how it works, then you should read Proteh's explanation. He goes into depth about that. What I'm trying to do in this video is just kind of bare bones how to get it to work, and that's it. So what we need to do here is we need to make a mod zip file that we can put into the mod directory and inject using the mod injector. So first of all, we need to make a kind of folder hierarchy, just like with all other mods. The first folder should be the map you want to change, without any of the patch names or anything like that. Like for me, the map that I'm working on is the Arc Complex, so that's the map I want to change, and that's its name, E2M2_base. So I made a folder of that. Okay, so this is the folder hierarchy that you need. So it's the name of the map you want to change. After that, eternal mod. I don't know if the capital letters matter. Best to copy it exactly as it is, I think, if you want to make sure it works. Assetsinfo, all in lowercase, and in that folder, you should make a text folder like you just saw that I made, named after the map that you want to change, but instead of .txt, make it .json. You can open JSON just the same as a TXT. Now this is what I recommend you do. You can download Proteh's DLC AI for all maps and use that to gain an example of the kind of thing that you need. So you open up the zip file for his DLC AI for all maps, and in here you can see the map names for all the levels in the game. I'm changing E2M2 base Arc Complex, so I'm going to open up that folder, and you can see it's got the Eternal Mod folder in there, and the assets info, and the same file, right? The JSON. Open that text up, and here you go. You need something like this in your own JSON text file. So, copy all this and paste it in your own JSON file. Okay, it's a good start then. You know, it can be quite easy to screw this code up. They got brackets here, colons, commas. If you get any of this wrong, it won't work. Don't worry about it too much though, because I can show you how to check your JSONs and get that right. Okay, so here's how it's going to work then. At the top of this text, you can see that there's the names of resources. And underneath that, it then changes. Then you got this streamDB, and it's like that for the rest of the text. So at the top you got these resources, but then it's different. It's 3 lines like this instead. Well, at the top, you want the names of the resources from the map you want to take from. You know, I'm changing Arc Complex, but I want to take from the Super Gore Nest. But first of all, I need to find the Super Gore Nest in this table. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm scrolling on down, looking for E2M1. That's the name of the Super Gore Nest level. And there it is. You can see there's quite a few Super Gore Nest files right there. And there's the resources, there's the streamDBs, and there's some more resources down here. So now I'm changing the names of these 2 resources to be the same as the nest. What you want to do then is that you want to put these lines in the code in the same order as what you see in this table. Now, the order that you see in this table is patch 1 first. Patch 1 first? Yes, check. What's the next one? Patch 2. Okay, that needs to change then. So patch 2 next, and then after that, just normal nest. So that's what I'm going to do now. Patch 2. So now I need to make a new line. You need both of the brackets and the comma. Okay, now you can see this is following the same pattern as these ones. Okay, the next part. So the first line, this name, these are the files which belong to the Supergore nest, or that's where they should be anyway, on the first line. The ones on the last line are the ones that should belong to the map that you want to change. For me, that's the Arc complex. Which file should be on the last line? Well, the last StreamDB mentioned. Here's the first StreamDB mentioned. Here's the last one. This is for the Arc complex. So you want to change this last line, which doesn't change. It's the same every time. You see here it's 3.1, but we want to change that to be 3.2 instead. Okay. Now, like I said, the first line refers to the files from the map you want to take from. It refers to the Supergore nest files instead. So now I need to find the Supergore nest files in the table again. And there they are. Okay, what do you have to do now? Well, you're going to have to replace the StreamDB. Replace the first line of StreamDBs with the StreamDBs for the Supergore nest. So instead of 6.1 being the first one, that should be 2.1. And after that, that should be 3.1 instead of 0.6. 1.8, that should be 4.2. Like that. Okay, I got to the end of the code here, but I've still not finished. I'm up to 0.6, but I still got 1.8 and 2.2. So I got to make another couple of lines. So copy those parts, the brackets. I think the way it works is that you need a comma when you're telling the code that there's something else coming. There should be a comma there, but I've forgotten. And I'm going to pay the price in a moment. You'll see. So yeah, I just changed those 1.8 and 2.2, 1.8 and 2.2. And now I'm double checking them because this is really tedious and it's takes a lot of focusing on very fine details to get right. I feel confident that I got it all right, and so I saved it. So I saved the JSON file, which is in this folder, in that folder hierarchy that I showed you before. So now you want to make this into a zip file like any other mod. Open it up, double check that the folder hierarchy is still the same. Yeah, it is. Cool. Put that in your mods folder and inject it. Oh dear. No mods were found in the mods folder. That's because I screwed up the JSON file. So let's see what I do about that. The code in my JSON file is incorrect. Something's wrong. So this is what I do. I select it all, I copy it, go on the internet, JSON checker, and you need to use this one, JSON lint. You paste it in this text box right here. Then you can click on validate JSON. And then it tells you how bad you are at JSON coding. It gives you some clues though. Pass error on line 50. So you find line 50 to see what the deal is. It takes me ages to figure this out. There shouldn't be two brackets next to each other. But I try separating them like this and it doesn't help. I validate again and I get the same problem. What I'm missing is a comma. There should be a comma there. And I figure it out here. Have a eureka moment. Comma. Validate. Yay, it works. Right, select all that, copy it, put it back into your JSON document, save it, turn it into a zip file, put it in the mod injector, run the injector, fingers crossed. Yay, that looks more like it. Yeah, that's worked. Fine, run the game, and let's see if I've got my Meathook nodes. My little yellow orbs. And I have. Looky there. So that has successfully transferred assets from Supergore Nest into the Ark Complex, because the Ark Complex does not have these icons, these effects, and now it does, thanks to that mod and Proteh's wonderful new mod injector. And that's it. That's how you use Proteh's Assetsinfo guide. Like I said, if you want to know more about it, how it works, why it works, or you want to do something more advanced, you're going to have to read his guide and work from that. I'm only showing this to show you how to actually do it. And if you want to put DLC AI into another map, well, I recommend that you download Proteh's DLC AI for all maps mod. And you can use it straight, or you can delete some of the folders. See, he has some information about that, I think, about which folders you can delete if you don't want to have all of them. Like if you only want to have DLC AI in one specific map and not in all of them. Something like this. But okay, that's all from me. Bye!